Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to get data from a LinkedIn Sales Navigator search result. So let's jump over to LinkedIn Sales Nav, and you do have to have a Sales Navigator account to use this particular feature. So if you don't have one, that's totally okay. As we showed in a previous video, you can search LinkedIn using the free account version and get data from that as well. But if you have Sales Navigator, you get a little more granular here, and this is a great way to get data back from LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and build a hypothetical search. So we'll go ahead and just enter, a director of sales. We'll take that title and companies in Europe, and then we'll apply maybe a company headcount of 11 to 50. So this is, totally arbitrary. Just made this up on the spot. Excuse me. As you can see, there's 30,000 results here. Now, as many of you know, there's plenty of tools that can go through LinkedIn and collect some of this data, and that's great. You can use those. No harm done. But what's different about Coldlytics and collecting data from Sales Navigator is that a lot of what comes back on these lists is inaccurate. So, for example, you can try and filter out consultants or consulting. I was trying to do this the other day, and they all kept coming back. It didn't matter how many exclusions I used, what Boolean script I wrote. It didn't matter. I was getting muddled data. The first page was okay, and even then there was one error on the first page. So it was really frustrating to see because I thought I had a good list. So how can you overcome that? Well, if you're using automation tools, you'll have to go back through and clean up your data manually, which is quite frustrating and time consuming. But with Coldlytics, it's a real research team going through and collecting this data. What's also neat is that we're not just looking at LinkedIn for this information. This gives us a starting point to say, hey, all these people or all of these companies or accounts, depending on how you search it, are relevant prospects for us. But they don't have contact information on LinkedIn. So how can we get any data from this? Well, our teams will go out and search different parts of the internet to find what's available within the public domain for these business contacts. So we don't just leverage LinkedIn, although it is a starting point for this particular research type. So with that said, if you're using a saved search, you have to be careful. Let's go to a saved search right now, and then I'll take one. Here's an irrelevant one here. Here's an ICP search example. Now, notice this script at the top has saved search ID right here. So what this means is this is unique to my account. If I were to give this link to somebody else, it would just show an error screen. They wouldn't be able to open this. So if you've saved a search that you want to get data from through Coldlytics, you can go ahead and go to your saved searches, click on your particular search, and then what you'll have to do is toggle one of your filters on and off, and you'll see what I mean. Let's exclude or just delete owner for a second. This URL has completely changed. At the top, it's a unique search ID. It's not a saved search. So then we can go back to seniority level, select the owner filter, and again, even though it's an identical match to our saved search, it's now a unique search result. So if it's a brand new search, you don't have to do that step, but if you've saved it and you're going to get data from a saved search, you just have to toggle one of your filters on and off. But it's as simple as just copying your search URL from any new search, bringing it back to Coldlytics, and pasting it in here, just as we've done in other videos. And then you can click the plus button to save it. If you want to get more granular than what's here, if you wanted to say, hey, I've got a list of companies, for example, and I know that there's going to be a lot of marketing companies in here. I don't want marketing companies, or there's going to be a lot of consulting companies, and I don't want those. You can just come down here and in the notes just say, please exclude any marketing companies or consultants that appear in this search result. And that's how you can use Sales Navigator search URLs to get much better data than you could using simple automations.